Think about this for a second. You get up to rinse a few plates, and before the water runs warm, your thighs feel like they are on fire. You walk down the grocery aisle, not because you need milk, but because you need that shopping cart to hold you up. You wait in line at the pharmacy, and within 3 or 4 minutes, your knees start begging for a chair. If that sounds familiar, stay right here, because what most doctors aren't telling you might be the key to everything. Your birth certificate is not the real reason your legs get tired. Let me say that again so it lands. Getting older is not the main problem. A major study in a leading geriatrics journal looked at over 1,600 people past age 70, and even the scientists were surprised. The ones who could stay on their feet the longest. They weren't the youngest, the slimmest, or the ones swallowing the most supplements. They had one hidden muscle group, still firing the way it should. And here's the part almost no one talks about. That muscle group shrinks roughly 8% every 10 years after age 30. By the time you celebrate your 70th birthday, nearly 40% of it can disappear without you ever feeling it go. That's why standing feels so hard. That's why your lower back aches after 10 minutes on your feet. That's why walking from your car to the front door leaves you wiped out. It's not your heart. It's not arthritis. It's not just what happens. It's something smaller, deeper, and far more fixable than you ever imagined. Over the next few minutes, I'll show you 5 movements, backed by research from Harvard, Mayo Clinic, and University of Pittsburgh, that rebuild your standing strength at any age, even 80 or 85. We'll go from number 5 up to the most powerful one, and that top exercise. A 2022 Wake Forest University study tested it on adults 70 to 92. After just 12 weeks, their standing endurance jumped an average of 187%. One woman went from barely managing 3 minutes to comfortably standing over 20. Her doctor thought the lab made a mistake. They didn't. Stick with me to the end because this single move takes less than 4 minutes a day, right in your kitchen, holding the back of a chair. Let's begin with number 5. Number 5, the seated knee lift. Why start here? It looks almost too simple, but don't be fooled. When you sit tall and raise one knee at a time like a gentle march, you activate the iliopsoas. That's the deep muscle connecting your spine to your thigh bone. Most people have never heard its name, yet every time you stand up, step forward, or simply stay upright, your iliopsoas does the heavy lifting. A 2019 study in Age and Aging tested hip flexor strength in over 400 adults 65 and older. Those with the weakest iliopsoas were 3-4 times more likely to feel leg fatigue within the first 10 minutes on their feet. That's the difference between enjoying a church service and needing to sit before the sermon starts. What makes this move perfect for anyone over 70? No weight on your knees, no fall risk, no lower back strain. You're just waking up that deep hip muscle. How to do it? Sit on a sturdy, non-wheeled chair. Feet flat, back straight but relaxed. Hands lightly on the sides for balance, don't death grip. Slowly lift your right knee toward your chest as high as comfortable. Hold 2 seconds at the top, then lower with control. The slow lowering builds the real strength. Then repeat with the left. Aim for 15 lifts each side, rest 30 seconds, do 2 more rounds. Do this every morning before coffee. University of Tokyo research shows morning hip flexor work gives 23% more muscle activation than evening. Breathe out as you lift, in as you lower. Too easy after a few weeks. Place a small water bottle on your thigh. Number 4, the wall press. This one looks nothing like a leg exercise. You stand facing a wall, palms at shoulder height, and push gently as if trying to move the wall. Why is it on this list? Because standing fatigue often starts in your postural chain, the network from your shoulders down to your heels that keeps you vertical against gravity. Weak shoulders make your whole body work harder just to stay upright. A 2021 Mayo Clinic study followed 289 adults over 70 for a full year. Those with stronger upper body pushing strength stood with 34% less perceived effort. Even if your legs are fine, weak shoulders force everything else to overwork. How to do it? Find a blank wall, stand about 2 feet away, feet hip-width apart. Palms flat at shoulder height, fingers up. Slowly bend elbows until your nose is a few inches from the wall. Hold 1 second, then push back to start. Keep your body in a straight line from heels to head. No sagging hips or stuck-out bottom. Do 10 to 12 reps, rest 40 seconds, 2 to 3 rounds. A McMaster University study found that older adults doing wall presses 3 times a week for 8 weeks improved standing posture by 28% and cut upper back fatigue nearly in half. To make it harder later, move your feet a few inches farther from the wall. Number 3, the heel-toe rock. This one is so quiet you might miss it, but the science is remarkable. You slowly rock your weight from heels to toes and back again. Inside your body, a symphony of tiny stabilizer muscles in your ankles, calves, and feet gets trained. Why does that matter? Your legs get tired not because your quads run out of gas, but because those small muscles exhaust themselves making constant micro-adjustments for balance. A 2020 gait and posture study measured postural sway in over 500 adults 70 and older. Those with the highest sway fatigued 41% faster than those with stable stances. How to do it? Stand behind a sturdy chair or counter, feet hip-width apart, toes straight. Fingertips lightly on the chair for safety, try not to lean. Slowly rise onto the balls of your feet, heels up, hold 2 seconds, then rock back onto your heels, toes up, hold 2 seconds, return to middle. That's 1 rep. Slowness is everything. Aim for 12 to 15 slow rocks, rest 30 seconds, 2 more rounds. University of Sydney researchers found that doing this just 5 minutes a day, 5 days a week, improved standing endurance by 52% within 10 weeks and cut fall risk by 29%. Breathe steady, focus eyes on a fixed point ahead. Your eyes help train balance too. Once easy, try 1 finger, then no support. If this is helping you, go ahead and tap that like button so more seniors can find these movement guides. And subscribe. We publish fresh senior health insights every day. Number 2, the chair stand. Researchers call this one of the most important movements any older adult can practice. You sit down, then stand up without using your hands. That's it. But don't let the simplicity fool you. Every time you rise from a chair, your glutes, quads, core, spine, and ankles must coordinate in one smooth motion. Break any link, and standing becomes a struggle, and standing for long periods feels impossible. A University of Pittsburgh study tracked over 1,200 adults 70 and older for 6 years. Those who could do 12 or more chair stands in 30 seconds at the start had a 64% lower rate of standing-related fatigue 6 years later, and were 73% more likely to still live independently. How to do it? Use a sturdy, armless chair. Sit toward the front edge, feet flat and slightly wider than hips, heels just behind your knees. Cross your arms over your chest, no cheating by pushing on thighs. Lean your upper body forward slightly, almost like sniffing your knees, then push through your heels and stand up fully. Squeeze your glutes for 1 second, then lower back down with control. Don't collapse. Lower like you're setting down fine crystal. Aim for 10 stands, rest 1 minute, 2 to 3 rounds. Cooper Institute research. 4 times a week for 12 weeks increased leg strength by 47% and standing endurance by 58%. Too easy. Hold a light book against your chest. Number 1, the wall sit. This is the most powerful exercise science has found for helping adults over 70 stand longer without fatigue. The muscle group we've been talking about, your quadriceps, the large muscle on the front of your thigh, they are the engine of standing. Strong quads equal light knees, stable hips, standing for an hour without thinking. Weak quads equal every minute on your feet feels like a punishment. The wall sit is isometric. Your muscles work hard without your joints moving. No pounding on knees, hips, or back. Back to that Wake Forest study. 94 adults aged 70 to 92, non-regular exercisers, did wall sits just 3 to 4 minutes a day, 5 days a week. After 12 weeks, standing endurance rose 187%. Quad strength jumped 41%. That woman who went from 3 minutes to over 20. Her doctor confirmed every number. How to do it: find a smooth wall. Stand with your back flat against it, feet about 2 steps out front, hip width apart. Slowly slide your back down, bending knees until your thighs are at a comfortable angle. Even a shallow bend works great at first. Keep knees directly above ankles, never past your toes. Press your back into the wall. Breathe steady. For your first time, hold just 10 to 15 seconds. That's it. Slide back up, rest 30 seconds, repeat 2 more times. Each week add 5 seconds. Within a month you'll hold 30 seconds, within 3 months 45 to 60 seconds easily. The Wake Forest team found that slow, consistent progress worked best. Pushing too hard week 1 made people quit. Do your wall sits in the late morning when body temperature rises and muscles are most responsive. Drink water beforehand. University of Connecticut found even mild dehydration cuts isometric endurance by 14%. Never hold your breath. Inhale 3 counts, exhale 3 counts. If you have knee surgery history, check with your doctor first. But for most, wall sits are gentler on knees than climbing stairs. Do this one move consistently, 5 days a week for the next 12 weeks. Standing in line becomes easy. Walking through stores stops being a chore. Cooking dinner without sitting down feels natural again. Small daily efforts always beat occasional big efforts. Your age is not the problem. Weak muscles are. And weak muscles can be made strong again at any age, even if you haven't exercised in 30 years. Start with the seated knee lift tomorrow morning. Add the wall press by end of week. Layer in heel-toe rock and chair stand within 2 weeks. Then, when ready, begin the wall sit, just 10 seconds at a time, and watch what happens over the next 3 months. Always talk to your doctor before starting a new routine, especially with heart conditions, recent surgeries, or balance concerns. Your safety comes first. If this gave you a new way to think about your body, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to Winds of Thought for more research-backed health guidance, and share it with someone who's been blaming their age for too long. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Winds of Thought. I'll read every comment below. Tell me, which exercise will you start with first?